Welcome back to the dramatic conclusion of my first run-through of this game with Skids and Agnes, trying to do what they can to get through things. We just finished up Act 2, and now we have got Act 3 in front of us. A woman with a torch stands in your parlor, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. "What have you done to my barrier?" she screams with a little bit of a British accent. Furious, before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing toward you. And there's our objective. If the ghoul priest is dead, advance. So we've got some choices. Either we can kill the ghoul priest, or we can get to the parlor and get the heck out of here. It's time to make some decisions and do some stuff. As a side note, I've realized a particular strategic thing when it comes to this game, and that is that I should not be advancing the act at the end of my investigator's turn. Since I have the clues, I should really be holding on to them and advancing that at the start of their turn. That way they have the ability to react to things that just come out, such as the ghoul priest that just came out right now. But my investigators are done. Their turns are complete, so now we move right into the enemy phase. And the first thing that's going to happen is Mr. Ghoul Priest is going to hop up here into the attic, chasing after Skids, who has the highest strength, and is going to engage him. And he's, kind of in the screwed part of things. Then, if able, each enemy is going to attack. So the Ghoul Priest is going to attack for 2 health and 2 sanity, which Skids is going to take that. He's going to take the 2 health and the 2 sanity loss. And, yeah, he's not looking so good. He has 1 health left and 2 sanity left. Now, the Swarm of Rats is going to hit for 1 damage. The Beat Cop is going to take that single hit. Down here in the cellar, it's a bit of a different story. The Swarm of Rats is going to hit Agnes for 1, but because of hypochondria, when she takes 1 damage, she takes a horror as well. And which is kind of turns out nice, because Agnes's special ability, and as a reaction, after 1 or more horror is placed on Agnes Baker, deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. So she's going to, get bitten by the rat. She's going to freak out because it makes her hands dirty, and she's going to grab the rat and bludgeon it to death because it made her hands dirty. So she does 1 point of damage to the Swarm of Rats, and the Swarm of Rats is gone. Move over to our upkeep phase. We're going to flip ourselves back over here, and I think the upkeep phase is when Frozen in Fear is going to trigger for Skids of 2 versus 3. So Elder Sign is the only thing that can help him out. Nope, he gets the worst possible thing, don't we? -2 if you fail after the skill test. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a ghoul enemy, draw it, and shuffle the encounter deck. So, in return for that, a ravenous ghoul comes out as well. That just made things a lot worse. Thanks, Frozen Fear. Really appreciate that. That was a bad time for that, and we're probably going to die horribly now because of that. But other parts, we're going to get a card for Skids. It's going to be another flashlight. Oh yeah, flashlight into the hand. And drawing from the appropriate deck for Agnes gets a stray cat. Discard stray cat, automatically evade a non-elite enemy at your location. It's a 1 health, 0 sanity. Only costs 1 to bring it out. We'll see if that comes in handy or not. So let's go over to Mythos phase, putting our 4th Doom token up on our... And then we've got our fun-loving treachery cards. First one for Skids is going to be Ghoul Minion. Never rains but pours, right, Skids? Especially when you've got your Frozen in Fear stuff. Yeah, there's a Ghoul Minion out there. He's a 2/2. Hits you for a health and a sanity. It's nice picking up that many enemies that quickly. And the other one, Distant Voices. Revelation, put dissonant voices into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events. Forced at the end of the round, discard dissonant voices. Okay, all right. It's worth 1 to play this now. Boink. Play when you draw a non-weakest treachery card. Cancel that card's revelation effect. Then take 1 horror. It does have to take a horror, but hopefully, yeah. Anyway, it's over to their turn. All right, my lovely investigators. So Skids, being as how you're going to go down, the best thing you can do is try to hurt the ghoul priest as much as you can with your 1 resource. Only thing we've got is we can add +1 to our damage possibility. But we can discard Beat Cop to deal 1 damage. But we should do that afterward, because that's like a action you can do at any point. It doesn't matter. But the ghoul priest has retaliate. So if we try to hit him and we miss, he's going to hit back and he's going to kill the Beat Cop and Skids. So as it is right now, he's got an attack of 3. With the Beat Cop, he has 4 versus the ghoul priest's 4. And we can throw 1 extra on that to add that to a 5. And we could use Vicious Blow to add that to a 6, or we could keep the 5 versus 4, hope we get lucky, and if we do an extra point of damage. Then Beat Cop can do another for 3. And if that happens, Agnes could move up and do a damage for 4. Oh, but if he succeeds at his attack, he could attack again. So we're going to go for the luck. Skids is going to attack the ghoul priest, adding backstab for +1 to his difficulty. 5 versus 4. 5 versus 4. If he succeeds, he'll do an extra damage. Let's see what we got. -2. That kind of sucks. Oh well. Too bad for Skids. Skids ends up taking 2 points of damage. The Beat Cop could take 1, but Skids would still only have 1 left. And Skids is down. Ding. So all 4 of those monsters are now up there around Skids' dead body. I think the only thing Agnes could possibly do is try to get out of here. Since Agnes is kind of going to have a turn to spare when the ghoul priest and the swarm of rats move from the attic down into the hallway, she is going to move 1 up to the hallway, move 2 into the parlor, and then if she can manage to get Lita on her side, she'll try to fight the ghoul priest. If she can't, then she's probably just going to get out through the parlor. So Skids is down, she's moved twice, and now she's going to try to parlay with Lita. Agnes's knowledge is only a 2 versus that 4, so she's going to give perception toward that, which will even it out. And we'll use the resource to bump up her knowledge through arcane studies. Is it +1 right now? Let's do 1 more resource and give that +2. Spending 2 resources, do that +2, which I'm hoping I'm actually able to do. That card is spent, and if it's worse than that, we might be able to throw lucky at it. But we're at a +2 right now. We have -4, so she will spend 1 resource to activate Lucky, which is a fast card, so the only reason I can do it. Play when you would fail a skill test, boom, get +2 to your skill value for that test. Ding, so with Lucky, she is able to actually pull that off. Which means if you succeed, take control of Lita Chandler. Now with Lita there, whenever an investigator at your location, each investigator at the location gets +1, and as a +1 to strength. As a reaction, when an investigator at your location successfully attacks a monster enemy, that investigator deals +1 damage. Over to the enemy time. These 2 are going to stay up there, but the swarm of rats and the ghoul priest will move down into the hallway. Over to upkeep phase. We're going to reset. We're going to reset all of those things except for Skid, who is currently taking a dirt nap. And Agnes is going to draw a card, which is Dig Deep. It's 2 resources to bring out. It increases either your willpower or it increases your dexterity. She really needs something to help her, but she's going to get a resource as well. And we're moving over to the Mythos phase. The first part of the Mythos phase, we're throwing another Doom token on there. We're at 5 out of 7 for this agenda. And we have another Dissonant Voices. We just had one of these. Okay. Yeah, well, there isn't much she can do about it. She now hears dissonant voices. She tried to block them out, but they've come back again. With what little Agnes has, I don't see any way that she can take this ghoul priest out and still survive. It's going to walk in, it's going to hit her for 2 damage and 2 sanity, and the rat's going to hit her for a damage. She's going to take 3 damage and 2 sanity. She'll be at 1 health and 2 sanity left, and she would have to do 5 damage to this thing the next turn. Otherwise, she dies. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way for her to actually get through this. It's just, I don't think it's technically possible. I don't know what the cards are that I could possibly draw, but I don't think it's technically possible for her to live at this point and kill the ghoul priest. So she is going to resign, and she is going to run out the front door. That's going to bring about the end of this episode. He's down, and she is out. Just exactly what we are, down and out. So let us consult the happy book, shall we? See exactly what happened. If no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated. That's exactly what happened. You barely managed to escape your house with your lives. The woman from your parlor follows you out of the front door, slamming it behind her. You fools! See what you've done? I sucked at Arkham Horror. That's what I did. She pushes a chair in front of the door, lodging it beneath the doorknob. We must get out of here. Come with me, and I will tell you what I know. We are the only ones who can stop the threat that lurks beneath from being unleashed throughout the city. You're in no state to argue. Of course. I mean, frickin' Skids has pooped himself. Johnny Beat Cop is, I don't know. Skids is like holding onto the arm of Johnny Beat Cop. It's the only thing left. Everything else is just severed remains. Nodding, you follow the woman as she runs from the front porch out into the rainy street towards Rivertown. In your campaign log, record that your house is still standing. In your campaign log, record that the ghoul priest is still alive. Not even scratched would be a better way of recording it. The lead investigator earns the Lita Chantler card. Okay, I think we're going to make Agnes the lead investigator after this little debacle. And you may include it in his or her deck. This card does not count toward the investigator's deck size. Hey, look, we have an improvement right there. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display, which was 0. Remember to add eligible locations to the victory display. Each investigator earns 2 bonus experience as he or she gains insight into the hidden world of Mythos. So they do still gain 2 experience, except for Skids, who, since he's at -2, will gain 0. You earn 2 fewer experience for this scenario. Yep. So Agnes gets 2, Skids gets nothing. So that's probably a good reason why you shouldn't start the game blind on hard difficulty. But at least we got to see how some of the game is played and how to completely and totally get your ass kicked. I know a lot of things I would like to do differently at this point, but I think I will continue this into the next scenario with the current state as it is, with Agnes gaining 2 experience and Lita Chantler, and Skids gaining absolutely nothing, except a dead, beaten arm of his poor buddy. He never liked Johnny Beat Cop anyway. That guy was responsible for getting him thrown in the pen, so he's just like, yeah, I'll keep this arm around as a souvenir. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to go set my house on fire. See ya. So it may seem like an Arctic war zone, but this is actually New Year's Eve when you're working. That was a nice one. You're working like a 12-hour shift right through. Oh, some nice ones back there. Right through New Year's Eve, and you're stuck working in Boise when the temperature is currently, I think, like 14 degrees or something like that. It's been below freezing for, I think, about 2 weeks. Looking at least another week of it being below freezing. That's why the snow piles are excessive. But this is Happy New Year to 2017. I'm so sick of this crap. Just all of it. In later news, here in Kazakhstan, where we're having revolution, we expect the tanks to show up any minute, and then they will set me on fire.